Hello everybody, Resented here, and I'm playing Darkest Dungeon. This is a fairly new, like 1 or 2 days old RPG dungeon crawler roguelike game. It's made by a company called Red Hook, and it's currently in early access. Now that probably already made some of you go, yeah, I'm not gonna buy it because I don't get into early access games, and that's a completely fine mindset. I understand where it comes from. I understand that people are concerned about developers abandoning projects, developers promising certain aspects of their games only for the games to be released without those aspects promised. Honestly, I don't know a lot about Darkest Dungeon's development cycle. The only thing I really know is it got funded on Kickstarter, and that's pretty much it. I don't know everything about what the devs promised to put in the game, and I don't know anything about what they said the finished product's gonna be like. But right now it's in early access. It's $20, and I've been playing it for a little bit, for about 5 hours, and I really like it. I really like this game, so I don't really care very much for it being in early access. I don't really mind buying early access games. I typically read up on them before I do and see, and I basically have other people be my guinea pigs. I read, I looked at Pixel Piracy and I was like, oh, this game seems a little interesting, but then people told me that, or people in the reviews said that the developers abandoned the project, or that they gave the project to someone else who's now doing just bug fixes and he's not going to add anything into the game. And so that kind of made it turned me off from actually buying the game. And so hopefully, if in the future maybe that game the developers decide, hey, maybe we should step in and make this game a little better, then maybe I will get it. But for now, I'm playing this awesome game, and I'm going to start a new one. I have a main game that I've already played for just a little bit, week 5. I'm going to get to week 2 in this Let's Play. We're just going to call it Resent It, because that is my name. I'm going to click it, and there's going to be a beginning cutscene that I will stop talking for a little bit so that you can listen.
You will arrive along the old road. It winds with a troubling serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember, there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
So that's just a little bit of backstory on the game. The main premise is that an owner of a manor, he is very rich, and he was kind of bored with his life just from being too rich, I guess. Rich, first world problems. And so what he did was he found a tome or a book of some sort, and he saw that it had some dark secrets or dark voodoo magic in it. And so he activated it, and he's his house got possessed. Not his house itself, but the area that his house was in got swarmed by a blight of evil creatures and stuff. And so now you're part of a group of people who are trying to reclaim the manor and all its lost possessions. And that might not be 100% correct. I did see the beginning cutscene once, and so I'm going off of what I remember. And as you could hear from the narrator, he uses very flowery language. He's very well versed, and honestly, I think that's actually one of the main things I like about the game is the announcer. And he says, just for lack of better words, he says really epic things. I hate using that word. We're going back to the late 2000s here with that usage, but no, he says like some really cool things that just make you really excited and pumped up. Like when you get a critical strike, you'll hear him, he'll say something, and it just hypes you up, and it's really cool. And you'll hear a couple of those things, hopefully. And for now, let me get started. This is the kind of tutorial stage. As you can see, you can't see my cursor. I'm sorry about that. I think that's a Darkest Dungeon issue, because I have seen other YouTubers playing this game, and their cursor cannot be seen either. And so I know it's not an issue with the recorder that I used. And so I'm going to try to point you to the areas that I'm looking at without actually like trying to assume that you can see my cursor. So on the bottom right here is the mini-map. You can zoom out. There's only 2 rooms here, so we don't need to do that. And this is the main sort of feature of the game, where you're traveling through dungeons, and this torch on the left side of the map, or on the left room, that's our current room. On this right room, we can move to it. You can only move to other rooms when you're in rooms. Like, you're going to see we're going to traverse through this hallway here to get to this room, and while we're in this hallway, we can't really do anything besides go through that hallway. And we have an inventory that's currently just has 2 food. We can't really use it yet. I think you can only use it if you're low on health, or maybe you're not allowed to use it while you're tutorial. I'm not 100% sure. And over here we have our character. And then these are the traits that I'll probably get into a little bit later. And there are 4 abilities you can take per class. Each class does have more abilities. It's just you can only take 4 of them at one time. And so this is kind of our warrior, tanky upfront fighter. And this guy is a sort of mid to longer range, sort of, he has a little bit of AoE damage, but he's basically like, sort of like off DPS. Like he's just a secondary form of damage. And we have another feature that I really enjoy, which is the stress you see, where it says stress is 10 out of 100. So stress is a feature, or like a, I don't know if you want to call it a gimmick, because I know gimmick has a sort of negative connotation, but it's something that I haven't seen in other games where, as you traverse through dungeons, your stress goes up, and as certain events happen, such as an enemy landing a critical strike or enemies using certain abilities, your stress will go up. And if you reach 100 stress, then your character has a sort of freak out, and they get like a negative attribute for the rest of the floor. This could be something like them being selfish, and if they're selfish, then every now and then they might not do a turn. Like they'll just pass, and they won't let you use an ability, which can be very detrimental. But every now and then you'll get a very positive reaction to the stress, and they'll become something like fearless, which might motivate their team some more. It might reduce other people's stress. So it's really cool. I haven't seen that in a game before, and I actually really enjoy that. Another sort of gimmicky feature that this game has is like a light sort of, oh, what's the word? I can't think of it. But it's a feature in which, as you traverse through the dungeon, the light goes down, and as the light gets below certain thresholds, I think it's per 25%, where we're at 100% right now. And as it gets lower, you get like less scouting, and you have more of a chance to be surprised during battles. And surprise is just during a battle, if you're surprised, your team is like shuffled, and that can be pretty bad whenever I explain why during battle. But if the light is higher, then you have a lower % chance of being surprised, and the monsters have a higher % chance of being surprised. And oh yeah, and also, excuse me, some characters might have certain abilities that help with light. So this one is Warrior of Light, and if his light, or if the current light level is above 75%, then he gets 10% more damage. And I don't think he really has anything like that. No, he does not. So that's pretty much it for now. There's of course some more things to go over, but I won't cover it all right now, just so for the sake of moving forward. Okay? So through the hallways, you move left with A, and then you move right with D. So we're gonna move forward, and this is the first battle. We were surprised, which is surprising, honestly. I wasn't expecting to be surprised at the very first battle. Now this is the battle phase. We have 4 abilities, and then we can move, which basically just switches us with someone else adjacent to us, but I'm not going to use that. And I should mention the sort of circles you see on the top left and top right of the ability description. The top left is like the row of beige, sort of pale white circles, is where your character has to be in position in order to use this ability. So as you can see, you can have 4 allies total, and the enemy can have 4 enemies total. And our warrior needs to be in the front 2 slots in order to use this ability, while... I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. He needs to be in the first 2 slots in order to use this ability, and he can only use it on the first 2 enemies that are in like this position here, and in the position behind him, in this Brigand Cutthroat. And so, that's this each character has a sort of basic attack, and this is sort of the basic attack for the warrior. You'll see he has basically the same thing, and then he has the warrior here has a, or Crusader, I guess, is more appropriate. But he has other abilities, and as you can see, all of them require him to be in either the first or second slot. So he's like the upfront sort of tanky warrior person. And he has this ability, Zealous Accusation, which, as you can see from the connected line between the enemy circles, that means it attacks all of those enemies that are connected. So it attacks the first enemy and the second enemy. And so this one's just basically a stunning blow. It stuns the enemy hit. And this is just like a self buff. It gives him plus 20% protection. But for now, I'm just gonna basic attack the dude. We'll get into more advanced tactics later, but for now I'm just gonna hit him, but which we dodged, which is surprising. Ooh, I lagged just a little bit, I think. I'm not 100% sure. And for the Highwayman, he has more of like, sort of like, I'm not sure how to just describe his abilities. They're sort of like a jack of all trades. He has a ranged ability, he has a melee ability, and he has an AoE ability, and then he has a self buff. And this is his basic attack. And as you can see, he's more of the long range because he needs to be. Well, he can actually use this one. We just need enemies in the back row, but since we don't, he can't use it. But you see, he can only use Grape Shot Blast if he's either in this position that he's in, or if he's in the slot behind him. So he's more of like a middle row character. And we're just gonna basic attack this dude. 7 damage is pretty good. And he's gonna come for us. And I promise this game will kick up faster once I get past all the explaining phase.
Surges as the enemy crumbles.
And since we crit, he actually got his stress lowered. So there are ways to lower stress. We're gonna keep moving forward. We get a tent because every now and then there's interactive objects. They don't have to be tents all the time. They can be like urns. They can be sort of like brewing stands. They can be just sacks of loot and stuff.
Leave nothing unchecked. There is much to be found in forgotten places.
But also, these interactive objects can have bad things in them, such as like traps that hurts the character. Whoever
the owner has returned, and their kind is no longer welcome.
Sorry, I'm just letting the narrator talk. And sometimes the like chests and stuff contain traps that hurt or bleed whoever opened it. So anyway, as you can see, Grape Shot Blast, it deals damage to the first 3 enemies, and the problem with this Brigand Bloodletter is he takes up 2 spaces. So abilities that might deal damage to the first enemy and the enemy behind him, it'll actually just hurt him since he counts as an enemy in the first and second slot. So that's kind of annoying, and I'm gonna try to focus him just because he's sort of like, he's like a heavy damage AoE dealer, and you'll see what I mean whenever he starts attacking us. I'm just gonna try to just basic attack him. This will do 4 to 9 damage, as you can see on the bottom, where it says hero damage, and then it gives me the % chance to hit and the % chance to crit. I'm just gonna attack him. 7 damage is pretty good. And he's gonna go. Okay, the dodge is very good, and as right here, Zealous Accusation, it deals damage to the first 2 enemies, but since he counts as an enemy in the first 2 slots, it'll only hit him. You can sort of tell by the health bar he has. It takes up 2 spots. I'm not. I was thinking on stunning him, but he just went, so I probably can just attack him. And then, yeah, that guy was probably gonna go. He has an AoE ability right there, Blanket Fire. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but he gets to go again. And the damage does add up. And now I'm probably gonna stun him. He might resist it. Yeah. He has 50% stun resist, so that probably isn't very good to use. He resisted the bleed, but that's alright. Yes, he has like the AoE damage, but it didn't really do a lot, honestly, so I'm not too concerned about it. And he's dead.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
And he just crit, so now their stress just got lower. His stress got lowered, which is weird because the Crusader wasn't the one that got hit or critted, or did he? No, he totally didn't. It was the Highwayman who got stressed, or who got hit by the crit. But then, as you can see, the narrator kind of says some really cool things if you land crits or if you kill an enemy. I think it's pretty cool, at least. Alright, good dodge. Although my Crusader did miss the last ability. But that's okay.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
So we got some good loot. We got some more food, which is pretty useless since you lose. Hold on, I'll actually kind of explain that later. Let me just open this. Oh, it's trapped. So now he got blighted, and he's bleeding. That is crazy. But we are leaving. Okay. So at the end of the journey, you get all these cool stuff. We got a lot of gold. We got a few like gemstones that automatically convert into gold at the end. We got heirlooms, which are used to upgrade all your like town stuff. So we'll see what that means whenever we go back to town. And then I'll do one of
Welcome
like the
home,
main mission.
such as it is. This
Yeah.
squalid hamlet, these corrupted lands, they are yours now,
We always get these
and you are
people,
bound to them.
and I always upgrade my roster
Women and
just because
men,
that's pretty
soldiers
good.
and outlaws, fools and corpses.
Then our graveyard shows
All
us
will find
all
their way
people
to
who
us
have
now that
died,
the road is clear.
and we need to complete the first quest in
Most
order
will
to
end
unlock
up
anything
here,
else.
covered in the poisoned earth, awaiting merciful oblivion.
Then we can only do one,
A mecca
quest
of
right now?
madness and morbidity.
so let's take everyone. So we're
Your
going to
work
put
begins.
our warrior in the front lines, the sort of middle dude in the second slot. We're going to put our cleric. Actually, let's check out our cleric's abilities, just because there's certain abilities that she can only use in certain spots. So she can actually go in the third slot, since she can only use Dazzling Light in either the third or fourth slot, but she won't be able to basic attack. But that's okay. I think the oh, shut up, you're not even that stressed. But I'm pretty sure the trade-off of using this for not being able to use this is worth it. So, and he's a sort of backline. He does have like a melee attack, but all his other abilities, you see, he's more in the back line. So we're gonna put him there. We buy provisions. Oh yeah, and here
The cost of
is what I was talking about earlier. You
measured
lose
now in
all your
gold.
provisions whenever the
Later,
quest ends. So you lose like
blood.
all extra food, all extra torches, all extra shovels that you buy, which is a small gripe. There could be a reason behind it, but you know, for now I'm just gonna complain. I guess I'll take. So this is basically all you need. This is like the basic necessities. You need food. You need torches. You might be able to go off without any shovels, but if you come across a like rubble that needs to be moved, if you don't have a shovel, you have to move it with your hands, and that hurts everybody in your party. So shovels are very useful. And then all this extra stuff is for just like, I don't know, additional things that I don't really use very often. Like this removes blight, poison, and toxic. I'm not sure what toxic is. I haven't really run into anything that does that just yet. Bandages remove heat, bleeding, and this cures like disease, poison. No, not poison, but like disease and other such things. I haven't had to use these either, so I'm not 100% sure what they do. I have no idea what skeleton key does, and I have no idea what holy water does. So, you know, as you can see, I still have a lot to learn on this game. So my play isn't going to be like 100% perfect or ideal or min-maxy or any other sort of permutation that you can think of.
And what better place to begin than the seat of our noble line?
So our quest here is to complete 100% of room battles. So we started in a good spot in the top left, since I don't want to backtrack very often, and we're not going to need to with the way that this floor is set up. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on my torch light, or torch light level. He got trapped, but that's okay.
Hazards.
You see the trap stressed them out. We're going to rifle through this, a most unsettling passage. Damn it. Okay, that was probably not a good idea, but you can never know. I really need to use torches before I go into rooms, because there could be battles, and the lower amount of light that I have, the more chance there is of me getting surprised. I'm actually going to move here real fast, just because we're already high health, and I want to fight while I'm high health, and not when I'm at lower health. I'm totally going to do this. Dang it! It's typically not that bad, honestly. Oh, okay, yeah, let's move forward. There's enemies up here with our scouting. It showed us. We're going to fight some speeders. Web. I know what this does. This is going to stun us. But he resisted it. But he did get marked. So he takes more damage from some targeted attacks. That really gives me absolutely no indication on what it does. This dazzling light ability actually increases your torch, which is really cool. And it stuns them, and since this spider didn't go already, I'm going to try to stun it, and he dodged it, of course. But it still did increase torch, which is really cool. I can do Zealous Accusation, which will hit both of them. It has a 67% chance to hit, but let's try it. Okay, that was actually really good. How much does Grape Shot? 63%, but it will probably kill both if it hits both. There we go.
The fiend falls, a faint hope
That's some good stuff.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Okay, there is enemies in here, so let's fight them. Alright. I kind of know... Oh, they got surprised, which is actually really good. Also, I forgot to mention, if... Or, let me rephrase what I was just about to say. Whatever, like, party gets surprised, the other party gets to go first, like every character. Excuse me, sorry, my throat's been a little dry today. Probably need to get like a glass of water for when I'm recording, just because, I don't know, recording does a number on my voice, because I have to talk a little bit with like emphasis and stuff, and I don't know, it's just interesting to say the least. And anyway, the enemies got all surprised, so all of our characters get to go first, and that's what sucks about being surprised if it's your team that's on the receiving end, because then all the enemies get to go first, and it just absolutely sucks. So we might just basic attack this defender, since he's really annoying. He can stun, but these enemies in the back really suck too, just because they increase your stress with certain abilities that they have, and it's really bad. This will do 3 to 8. Let's try for a high roll. 7. Alright, that's really good. She can only attack, let's see, Illumination. Ooh, we can hit all of these. That'll do 2 to 5, and Illumination actually increases your torch as well, so that's pretty cool. And he dodged it. Ah, it's so ironic, because Illumination reduces their chance to dodge, and they dodged it, or they dodged like the activation. Still good to go. I can Plague Grenade. This will do 1 to 1, but it'll stun both of them, which I'm actually really like thinking about doing. I'm gonna try it. Of course, they both dodged it. Okay, we get to go again. Let's see if we can get it this time. There we go.
Give them no quarter.
Yeah, that's the ability that increases stress. That's why I wanted to get them out of the way first. 19 stress is a lot. Oh my god. I don't know why they're so good at dodging. I'm trying my best to... Plague Grenade's gonna do 1 to 1, but it blights them. Probably just gonna go for the stun. There we go. Graveyard Slash is just a basic attack. Axe Blade, I think, is another just basic attack. So yeah, we're okay. We're just gonna use... Is it on Zealous Accusation again? This is 4 to 8. This is 7 to 15. Actually, if I use this, it can kill the Bone Soldier in the back while still doing damage to this guy. So there we go. Gonna have to Noxious Blast this dude. It'll blight him, maybe? Unless it misses. Oh my god, this guy is just so good at dodging. I don't know why. 4 to 9, 3 to 8. Let's do that. There we go. Oops, I'm sorry. I I need to remember to turn off Steam overlays just because I'm not just so it doesn't like bother you in game. I just wish that I could hit him. There we go. Zealous accusation, man, it does work. Okay. Oh Jesus, he got a crit. Yep, that increased our stress. And we're just gonna kill him. There we go. That was pretty good.
This expedition at least promises success.
Let's see, there's treasure in this room, but that probably also means that there's enemies. Because where there's big old treasure chests, there's big old enemies. Maybe we'll get a good one. I like opening them just because typically you get more good than bad. I feel at least. But I've just gotten like some bad rolls.
The match is struck.
We're gonna go in
blazing star
here.
is born.
There's probably enemies, if I were to guess. Yep, there they are. Okay. I'm probably gonna have to start using our cleric's healing abilities, especially because he just got critted. Alright. That's okay. Probably gonna grape shot. That did a lot of damage. And then we're going to try to blind them. Okay, that's actually... Oh, man. You don't know how good stuns are until enemies land like one lucky crit. It's ridiculous. So she's going to use... Let's see, how much does this do? 4 to 9. There's a chance she can just outright kill him. But I'm going to use party heal. And then he's going to use... Hold on. 7 to 15. He's going to kill him. And the back two archers are stunned, so they're not going to be able to do anything, which is amazing. He's going to blind... Oh, he can't blinding gas. He can only blind gas one now. But that's probably use, or like, worth it. But he did dodge it, so that kind of sucks. I'm going to just try to take out this guy. Okay, that would have stunned him. So that's pretty good. I can just kill him. And this is going pretty well. This is actually going a lot better than like what I'm typically used to. This game is pretty difficult, but it's really fun. So the difficulty is it's kind of one of those games where whenever you lose or something really bad happens, you're kind of angry, but then you're just like 2 seconds later you're just going back into it because you're like, I know I can do this. And it's just one of those games. This is 4. He's going to kill him. There we go, while doing damage to the first guy. Just because I really like games like this. I can actually try to stun him. Oh, I can't because I have to move into position. I'll do that after the fight. I'm just going to kill him right now. He is dead. Alright, that was pretty good.
As victories mount,
oh, that's
so
actually all of them. I can, that's interesting because it says there's a battle here, but it says we're done. I'm gonna actually open it with him. I'm actually gonna open it with whoever has the least amount of stress, which is him. The treasure chest contains more gold, which is good. I think what I was saying earlier, or a little bit ago, was, it's just I really like this kind of game, so maybe that's just like a personal preference sort of deal, where if I like lose horribly, I'm really angry, but I'm gonna try again because I really like this game. But it's just I'm really into sort of dungeon crawler and RPG games, sort of stuff like that. And this game reminds me a little bit of Monster's Den, if any of you have ever played that. And if you haven't played that, and maybe you're not gonna pick up this game, or maybe you just can't get it right now, I would really advise you to try out Monster's Den. I think the newest one in the series is called Monster's Den Chronicles, and it's the 3rd one in the series. They're all free to play, of course. They're all just flash games. They're really fun. And if you just play them, you'll see what I mean. If you're into that sort of game, like at this game, if you look at it and you're like, yeah, I can kind of get into this game, then you'll most likely like Monster's Den. So everyone leveled up. We're gonna return to town, and now other buildings will be available.
Our estate was the envy of this land.
So I'm probably going to have to... He's God-fearing, so he'll only pray for stress relief. And so what I mean by that is...
The cobwebs have been dusted, the pews set straight. The
I'm
abbey calls to the faithful.
I'm just letting him go first. Anyway. every character has a sort of like good things and bad things about them. So this guy, he's a warrior of light, so he'll do more damage in any high amounts of light. And if he's in a Warren's dungeon, he gets a bigger chance to scout, which is basically when you go into a room, if you scout, or if I guess if a scout is successful, then you see what's in the other rooms adjacent. So that can be pretty useful in deciding on which next room to go to. But they also get bad things. So he's a kleptomaniac, so excuse me, this is a little sinus issue, but we're good. He's a kleptomaniac, so he's prone to stealing items. I'm not 100% sure what that does. I haven't really seen it in action yet, so that's a little unknown to me. He's God-fearing, so he'll only pray for stress relief, and stress relief is just you put them in a place and then they're deactivated for a quest, but after the quest that you do, their stress will be pretty much gone. And then he's a ruminator, which he gets 10% less stress heal. So if something will heal, or if something will reduce his stress by 10, it'll only get reduced by 9. So that kind of sucks, but that's okay, we can deal with it. And we're gonna make him pray because he is about halfway through his stress. He's now deactivated. And then there's a tavern.
Fresh kegs, cards, and curtained rooms promise solace to the weary and broken alike.
Oh geez, this is actually really bad. Creeping cough. He has less accuracy, less dodge, and less speed. But he does get more accuracy and more crit chance against beast monster types. And she's God-fearing, so she'll only pray as well, so that's going to be a little difficult. I might be able to remove it with whenever the sanitarium unlocks, which basically can remove negative attributes from people. But she's also oh wait, really? This is interesting because meditating is a stress relief, the cloister, but she can't do it since she's God-fearing, so that's kind of interesting. But since it also works during camping, campings are another kind of mission that you'll see later. But since it also works with camping, that's pretty good. I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing right now. Let me see. I can upgrade this to where increases stress recovery. I can do it on the bar, and I can do it on the cloister. I'm actually going to upgrade the transept just because it's going to be used a lot since people can be God-fearing. And let's check out the stagecoach because we'll have more people. Wow, that's actually kind of bad how there's just two of these guys.
Better laboratory than the blood-soaked battlefield.
And so that's pretty much everything right now. As you can see, there's a lot of buildings that are locked, but we will be able to see them once I complete more missions. And we have 3 missions available that I'll probably play this one here since it's a short level and it's low experience needed. We just need level 1. And we're gonna send out these 2 people along with these 2. Or no, I'm sorry. We're gonna send out these 3 people. I guess another witch doctor? No, he's a plague doctor, a seeker plague doctor. Let's see. Oh, actually, as you can see, they can start with different abilities, but these 2 start with the same abilities. And I think this is just a like a buff. This is another buff, and then 2 like back row. And since all these can be used in the back row, I can take these 2 and they can be in the back 2 rows, and then he'll be in the second row, and she's gonna be in the first row, which is gonna I probably shouldn't make her do that. This just kind of sucks because because I'm gonna have to make someone not be able to be very useful, and it's probably gonna be this guy just because I value her heal a lot. But anyway, we're gonna figure all this junk out on the next run. But for now, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, oops, I didn't mean to click that. If you enjoyed the video, please consider clicking the like button because it helps me out a great deal. And if you're interested in keeping up with the videos I'm currently uploading, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Subscribe. Let's not get into all that, but be sure to subscribe, and you'll be able to keep up with everything that I'm doing. I will be uploading another. Well, actually, let me sort of explain this first. This is going to be the first video of the schedule that I'm going to start adhering to. So this should be going up on a Tuesday. So the next Darkest Dungeon video will be Friday, I think. Yeah, that seems right. Friday. Yes. So you're gonna be watching this on a Tuesday, maybe, hopefully, and I'll make the next one come out on Friday. So that's when you can expect the next one to come out. And until then, I will see you guys next time.